Done with you fucking girls acting like everyone is a fucking weirdo around you.
Well, you're the one
I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm a normal dude trying to be nice and invite people to an after party. Thank you.
You're treating us poorly?
I'm treating you poorly?
Yeah.
You gotta wake up, girl.
Reflect.
I will not shut the fuck up. I'm tired of you girls trying to act like you own men. You do not own me. I'm a hot guy, and I can get fucking plenty of hot girls. So get the fuck out of here, bitch. Walk on.
Do not call her a bitch.
I'm not calling anyone a bitch.
Fuck off.
You keep pointing like something's gonna happen.
You're right. Right. It's ridiculous for me to point. You have low self-esteem. I want you to have a higher self-esteem. I want you to have a fucking high self-esteem.
Just treat men better. That's all I ask of you, you strange ladies.
Come here.
I'm tired of like girls thinking that they're like they own the world and like everyone's a weirdo. Like,
hey, you got a pen I can borrow? Hey, wait, you are you Mexican?
Yeah.
For real? Man, I will cross the border for you. Like,
You're funny.
well, you know what they say. If you can make her giggle, you can make the cheeks jiggle. You single?
Yeah, but I'm not looking for a relationship.
I get it. Having a busy schedule sometimes, get frustrated. I don't want a relationship either. Only meaningful relationships. So with that pen you was giving me, you just write your number down on it? Like,
What's your name?
my name New. She called me tonight. You can write it right there. Yeah, you think I'm cute?
Yeah. Cute.
I think you're pretty. We'll be pretty cute together. I'm gonna hit you up tonight, alright? Alright.
Oh man, I'm at a dorm room right now, getting ready for this test tomorrow. So
now, can we get a look at some of your study partners real quick? There we go. Let's see what's going on. See who's helping you study over there. Oh, there we go. All right, so now he's a smart man.
Oh. Hey, you know what? We got a bad connection. Let me get your phone number there on the left, just in case we get cut off.
Todd, you better warn your girls about Reese. He's going to try to hit them all up on Facebook. So tell them, don't friend Reese.
Which one of those? Which one of them taking the test for him?
hey, I wish, man.
Yeah, right.
Damn, this really has me jumping from subject to subject because, you know, just shit keeps coming up and topics I wanted to talk about before, they just kind of get away from me, even though the video is already made. Just haven't gotten around to making the video. Got other space issues again. You know what I mean? I swear, you know, like you go out and why is it like you buy 2 terabytes of an external hard drive and, you know, that's affordable. But then, you know, anything bigger, it's like the price just jumps astronomically, right? It doesn't make any sense. I just need to just commit and get one of these like 5 terabyte, you know, hard drives as opposed to having multiple I prefer having the smaller ones because then if something crashes, it's usually backed up, right? But anyway, Madison Brooks. Now, I already covered this subject. And now that more information has come out, you know, which I said was going to come out because the lawyer said, you know, we got video. You know, I mean, I don't even know how this, other than racism, I have no clue how this case is going forward. You know, the freaking media, like, what pisses me off about them, they have all the videos. They have all the content. And even this little snippet that they put out there where you can clearly see Madison Brooks is talking in the video in the back of the car. They like cut it and then they're like talking over it. I'm like, nah, play the whole thing. Nah, but media is not going to do that. The news isn't going to do that. I can't wait till the whole thing comes out, however long they were recording. But it's like the first video we saw was her chasing them across the street, right? Not a good look for the people trying to say it was rape. And the way that they let the shit fester, like leading people to believe, like all they see is, these black guys' faces and the one white dude, right? And notice all of them are light skinned, by the way, even speaking to, it's Louisiana. Where does Beyonce come from? Louisiana, right? Or Texas. Where's she from? Is she from Louisiana? But I'm saying, all this shit, people having French in their background, the Cajuns, all that other stuff. White people have been fucking around with black people since forever. That's where all these original light-skinned people come from. That's what's so funny. But, again, white supremacy, it doesn't matter what seeds they go out here and create. It's still a black person. It's still a nigga, right? And when they see that image, and this is what a lot of light-skinned people talk about and why they don't fuck with white people, is, they may not be treated like a black person, but they're still treated as a non-black person. But, the light-skinned dude, this 17-year-old, they're trying to charge him with not only third-degree rape, but first-degree rape. So Louisiana statute says third-degree rape is basically that she was too intoxicated, which I don't even know how, like, when you say that, right, all of us pretty much are thinking, yeah, a person's blacked out, they're just a limp body, and some creep comes through and tries to have sex with somebody who's completely, flaccid paralysis, can't move, doesn't know what's going on, and some creep gets on top of her and takes her clothes off and tries to fuck her, right? That's what we think of, right? Not this broad spectrum of, she was too drunk, right? And they want to talk about her blood alcohol level was such and such. And I'm like, we can see in the video that she has full command of that vehicle. She's apologizing to the white dude because she basically freaking told the white dude that he was gay. He was the one that was driving the car. Told the white dude that he was gay because he didn't want to get in on this pussy. He didn't want to hit it with like the other two black dudes were doing. And apparently there's another video where she's dancing with the 17-year-old in the bar because she was feeling the 17-year-old. And then you got the other black dude. He figures, I can get in on this, right? And she's sitting in the middle of the car, which I've been there. I've been in the back of a car with a bitch on my right and a bitch on my left and hooked up with leaned over to the right. I'm kissing one. The next thing you know, I'm kissing the other one. I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And I just let it happen. Right? So there's situations like, and this is another thing, like you get these people that I don't know whether they've never been to college, it goes down, and I keep emphasizing how much it goes down. A lot of these white folks out here, they're out here, with these angelic, ideas of antebellum South, white women that are evangelical Christians, and, it's like they're just, these fainting Victorian virgins from the 1800s, and that it's like birth of a nation, and there's just no way possible that this look at her, look at this pretty white woman, because if she was fat or if she was not pretty, nobody would give a fuck about her, or, and I'm gonna bring up Captain Solo's point, if she were the throwaway white women, because there's a category, and I'm going to get to this because this is really what I want to get to, is if she was this throwaway category of white women, it would be a totally different conversation. But because Madison Brooks looks the way that she does, she's this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman. She's a prized white woman. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and pretty. Oh, she's a prized white woman. Ain't got no tattoos. You know what I'm saying? The way that she dresses, right? She's not dressing, like she don't even, you look at her photos, you would never think, she got black guys. You would never think they got all the fucking Patriot Front white supremacists they're running around. They're mad, but see, a lot of them, the younger guys, they already know. You know what I mean? That's why they got all these say, she's a mud shark. burn the coal, pay the toll. Burn the coal, pay the toll, just to answer some people who didn't know what that meant. Burn the coal, pay the toll is basically that like 4chan white supremacy shit. Okay, that's what the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists run around saying. It's akin to the went around blacks never relax. Don't make the black kids angry. Freaking that Colin Flattery type bullshit. And he died. If y'all didn't know, I don't know if y'all know that he passed away. He used to have a YouTube channel. It's the same as, we was Kangs, the mocking phrase. It's the same as, what are the phrases that have, he didn't do nothing. It's all those, dog whistles of white supremacy, right? And so, burn the coal, pay the toll is what these white guys came up with, to basically say, if you fuck with black guys and you get killed, like, that's what you get. You're a race traitor, all that shit. And so, like, that's their thing, right? And the thing is like, they wouldn't come up with that if white women weren't fucking with black men. We're not talking about marriage here. We're talking about fucking with. And this even rides into the whole issues that white men are always going to have with that, because, again, they don't want sloppy seconds. They don't want, black guy fuck them and then we get them. They feel the same way about black guys fucking white women as we feel as educated lames about black women who go off and get with Ray Ray and Pookie and then want to get with us later on when they want stability. But what really moves them is the street dude. And no matter what type of black guy you are, if you're an educated lame or if you're a street dude, it doesn't matter. To white men, you're black. You're a nigger. That's what you are. That's how they see you. You got nigger cooties and all the other type of shit. That is how they view you. Okay? And so the idea of this precious, pure, angelic, pristine white woman soiling herself, sullying herself with these black mongrels, their heads explode. They can't handle that shit. And Cap said something that's just really profound. He was like, nah, he's like, the difference is he said black guys, due to, everything that led up to, modern day black community, right? All the problems, the redlining, the poverty, the crime, all that shit. In the 80s, in the early 90s, was just when this shit really took off, and you had, guys that were drug dealing and they had money and the whole Suge Knight, Tupac, all that other stuff. Okay, black men are familiar with the reality that a woman can fuck whoever she wants to fuck. There is no dick that is somehow beyond a woman who looks a certain way fucking with that dude. We know that. You can have the pastor's daughter, and you can have some dude that is a known street dude. He got bodies on him, everything. And she'll want to fuck with that dude. As black men, we have seen that shit. Yeah, us growing up in single-mothered households, majority of us, we've been told all the same angelic, pure bullshit about black women that white men get told about white women, and they got a whole apparatus, a whole media infrastructure to reinforce and support that idea. And to those white men living underneath a fucking rock, okay, they still believe this shit. You got guys that are in the middle areas of gray, and then you got the guys that really believe this shit, and then you got the guys that are they're like white black guys, kind of, in a way. Like they know the deal. They've been around enough. Sometimes they participate, other times they don't participate. You know what I mean? But these are the white guys. They got game, they got swag, they getting pussy. They've been there. They've been in the club scene. They've been there. They've been in these situations. Seeing what goes down. Typically they've smashed out non-white women as well, whether it's a Latina or a black shit. They know what the fuck goes down. But usually these country bumpkin live in the Midwest where towns are really segregated, and it's like, black people, they live on the other side of the railroad tracks, literally type of shit. These motherfuckers still got that 1915 birth of a nation concept and idea of white womanhood. They still believe that if a white woman looks like she don't fuck with niggas, she don't fuck with niggas. That's literally what they think. And they have this dismissive category of white women, the throwaways, the Kim Kardashians, any white woman with so much of it as hips or a body, you know what I mean? A white woman that wears hoop earrings, slicks her hair back, lays her edges down, and wears Jordans, you know what I mean? They dismiss that white woman. If Madison Brooks looked like that, if they saw a white woman that looks like, a white woman that grew up in a relatively mixed area, like what you see in like the Northeast or something like that, those white women that wear dark lipstick and got the eyeliner and shit and got, wear like Egyptian eyeliner or some shit like that. When they had that little black streak that goes all like past their eye or some shit like that, or hoop earrings, hair slicked back, laid down edges, the freaking, the necklace pendant with their name in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they have any of that shit, white guys are like, oh, she probably fucks with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they think in their head. But see, when you get these country bumpkin looking white women, I shouldn't say country bumpkin. Well, they look like they come from the upper class of white rural America looking white women. The ones that are into like cowboys and they'll be at a bar singing Sweet Home Alabama and shit, and they got the cowboy boots and their plaid shirt on, and they just look like, all that, all that shit, that shit that white people do in the bar, see Caroline, like that shit when they get drunk, those white women. Okay, the white women that got a name like Matilda and their nickname is Tildy, those white women, okay? Those white women are the white women that they are 1,000% sure do not fuck with black men. And little do they know that a lot of those women fuck with black men. They just don't know about it. Like I said the same thing about the Muslims. Muslims be like, oh, Ramadan is upon us. Oh, Allahu Akbar, inshallah, da 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 da. Niggas be smutting them white girl, them Muslim women out. They be coming over, knocking on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're not gonna know. You're not going to know. Just like if dudes are running around fucking black women, a lot of times we're not gonna know. But I guess due to our position in America and the history and everything else, we're just not that arrogant. We don't have a black superiority complex like everybody else does, an Arab superiority complex, a white superiority complex, where they think that their women can't get got. These motherfuckers really do think that. I can't emphasize that enough. They really do think that Becky isn't getting her back blown out, or that Becky don't want black dudes, or that Becky ain't a thought or a smut or a slut. You know what I mean? Like that Becky don't get that. They really do think this shit. And so for black guys, we have seen, this shit go down, with the whole, having that other category of black men that are outside the realm of the workforce. You know what I mean? Like again, and has the theme music with hip hop. And it always fascinates me with white men now, because I'm like, you all, like, every time a white girl's doing a dance on TikTok, what is she dancing to? Is she dancing to Stained? Is she dancing to Pearl Jam? Is she dancing to the Red Hot Chili Pepper? No, she's dancing to black music. Da Baby, Little Baby, Future. That's what she's dancing to. And now you got the Afro beats. They dancing to that shit. You know what I mean? So like it's like as much as white society tries to create this idea of whiteness and what it means and how, we don't fuck with them and everything else like that, like black people in their artistic and expressive ways, and the way, that we've only been allocated like this space, run the ball, nigger, and play some music. That's all black people have been allowed to do, but essentially they've excelled at that. And now it's one of the most popular genres of music, especially with young people. You know what I mean? And so, like I remember this girl back in high school, her mom barred her from watching MTV because she didn't want her being attracted to black men. And guess who she eventually ended up marrying and having a kid by, multiple kids by? A black man. And they're still married to this day. I mean, talk about some high school sweetheart shit. Like, both of them really ain't been with anybody but each other. Like, that shit was crazy. You know what I mean? She was one of these white girls with the asymmetrical haircut back in the day. So you already knew what time it is. You know what I mean? But I remember that conversation about her parents not allowing her to watch MTV. But I'm saying, to really drive the point home, you know, and this goes back to the white guy that I was telling you about, the one that said, and it was a profound statement. He said that shit just as innocently as he could say. He was just speaking his mind. He was like, you know, I really feel like black guys cheat the system. I'm like, what do you mean black guys cheat the system? He was like, as a white man, I gotta have all this shit to get the white woman, the top shelf white woman or whatever. I gotta have all this shit. I gotta be stable. I gotta provide. I gotta this. I gotta that. And a black dude with some swag and some game can come through and fuck the same chick. Hell, y'all can fuck a chick off of the strength of being an asshole. You know what I mean? Fuck that bitch. And literally say fuck that bitch to a chick's face, and next thing you know, she wants to fuck you. He's like, it's insane. It's insane the shit that y'all get away with. That we could never get away with that shit. We can't get away with it with white women. We can't even get away with it with other races of women, quiet as it's kept. I mean, he was breaking the shit down, detailing the shit. And it goes back to something else that he said, was that, you know, that white men fail to understand the true nature of women, specifically white women. You know, like when they go off and, you know, the birth of a nation and the white woman throwing herself over the cliff to get away from the black man, right? This is what was in Birth of a Nation, right? And then they, you know, all the stereotypes, oh, leave those black men alone. You know what I mean? They're savages. Their dicks are too big to stick in a white woman's vagina. They're too big, right? And the white woman's sitting there saying, ooh, too big, you say? You know what I mean? Like all that shit that culminates to the black man being the ultimate bad boy, the ultimate forbidden fruit. Like they literally, like a lot of white men, and they still think this, a lot of white men, especially these ones that I'm talking about, they really do think that white chivalrous heroic idea of what it is to be a man is the only way to get a woman, is the only way to get pussy. You know, so it's like, you know, in their mind, you know, I'm chivalrous, I'm polite, I'm God-fearing, I go to church, I'm Southern Baptist or evangelical, and I love white Jesus, and I earn quite a good living. And they literally think that that's all they need. And the crazy thing is, a lot of white women, just like a lot of black women, you know what their brains are saying? Boring, boring. Oh, that's the safe space. Oh, boring. We don't want that. I need some excitement. I need some danger. Oh, who's the most dangerous motherfucker out here? Oh, that's right. Black men. Black men that are on the 6 o'clock news with gang violence and shooting each other. Oh my God, it's so dangerous. Oh yeah. And then you got the whole aspect of all the shit like porn and the fucking, and I'm a white woman and I've ran into this bullshit. You know, I'm a white woman. Oh, I know those black men want me, because in white men's attempt to try to create this sort of, we're protecting the white woman and we're protecting white womanhood, they got to make the black man the savage beast, right? That lurks in the shadows, the King Kong, you know, like that voyeur scene that they had in the 1933 King Kong movie where he's looking through, you know, the peephole and shit like that. Like literally King Kong was a representative of black men. And I remember LeBron James when he was, you know, grabbing Giselle and they contrasted those images and people got upset because, you know, obviously the racist implications of it all. But I'm saying white men have always tried to paint black men as the monster. The monster that, like, see, nobody ever considers whether the white woman wants to fuck King Kong. Nobody ever considers that shit, which, you know, the funny thing is if you look at the movie, you know, she actually, you know, after King Kong saved her a few times, she was actually feeling King Kong. If you look at the way that they're portraying the movie, it's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, I can't. First I was scared of you, I couldn't get away from you, but now I see shit. Fuck that, the T-Rex, them motherfuckers trying to eat me. Oh no, let me go hang around King Kong, right? And so like even in the new movie that they did, who was the person? Something Jackson. Who was the person that came up with the new movie, but the recent one that they did? But I'm saying, you know, they've always tried to paint this this fucking King Kong, not even King Kong. It's like, because King Kong is more like the Beauty and the Beast. But I'm saying they always try to paint this like this black evil savage, heathen, chasing down the white woman, and what it has transformed into is more of a Beauty and the Beast scenario. So the black man is the beast, and the white woman, she's beauty. You know what I mean? And the thing is that there's a lot of white women, and black men can attest to this. Because there will be white women where in her mind, she thinks that she's the beauty, but in our mind, she's the beast. And they will sit there and think that we're the beast and she's the beauty. And that just off of the strength of her being a white woman, that we're supposed to thirst her. Because in white media, that is what white men have put out there. White men have put out that black men have an uncontrollable, insatiable appetite for white women. So if I'm a white woman, and we know how women love attention. If I'm a white woman, I can't like if I just want attention, if I have low self-esteem for some reason, or, oh, let's throw in that you're a white woman and you just happen to be, 2 cheeseburgers thicker than what the average white man likes. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, oh, let me go be around these black men. And aside from the other things, the forbidden fruit, aside from the, ooh, he's dangerous and all this other shit. Then on top of that, you get the added satisfaction of he thirsts me. And I get to feel his thirst just off of the strength of the intrinsic power of me being a white woman. Oh, yeah. That's a recipe. That's a recipe for the type of shit that you see out here. Okay, we've seen it all through these TikToks, these young guys going on street corners with their microphones and everything on Bourbon Street and everything, asking these women, about their sexual, their sexual preferences, their sexual escapades. Dudes, literally just using the gift of game. And I've talked about this. What is game? Game, or what is the Riz, right? Charisma, which is what it originates from. The Riz. He's got the Riz. Yeah, the Riz is any dude that has the swag, to basically, to use their gift of the gab to get a woman. And see, the thing is this is one of these white men have basically, in many aspects, turned into what I also see with Indians and Arabs and Asians, where there's no game. Now, I'm not going to say that that's all of them. I'm saying it's a lot of them, where they kind of come with the, it's about structure, it's about stability, and do you know who my father is? And bitch, I'm from such and such a family. And do you know I'm a Brahmin? Do you know I'm a Jat? You know what I mean? Do you know, like, they come with all this shit, right? And they think that that's all they got to bring to the table. I come from such and such a pedigree. I'm this, and therefore bitches should be on my nuts. And even, again, ELs will tell you it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? And Cap had a Mexican dude years ago tell him, look, man, if a woman wants to fuck a dude, ain't really shit that you can do about it. You see? And what throws the whole, this is what throws productivity. I'll be the first one to admit it. Even in the black community, it throws productivity off. Men shut down when they're faced with this reality because they're sold the idea that if they're productive, that they get rewarded with women's affections and desires and everything else. But then you have that wild card. Hold on a second. Damn, I was flowing. I hate when I get interrupted. The wild card. Black men are that not even black men, just a certain segment of men are that wild card. Because again, what poverty has done is it has created a situation, an environment, so to speak, where men have had to devise, other clever ways to get what they want. Okay. You got to have, fame, game, money, or looks. Well, if you don't have the looks and you don't have the money, and you don't have the fame, what does that leave you with? Game. What is game? Game is, the ability to freaking basically use your mouthpiece. Tell a woman what she wants to hear. Because remember, men are moved by what they see, right? If a dude's talking about, hey, I'm going to teach you how to get money or this, that, and the third, right? What do we want to see? We want to see the fruits of that shit. If a dude's going to tell me, be on Forex and sell this or trade or whatever, right? I want to see that he's got it like that. Don't try to tell me something and you don't got it like that. I want to see what you got, right? But women, on the other hand, women are moved. I'm not going to say that they're not moved at all by what they see, but they're more moved by what they hear. We all know, and you can talk to your female friends, there's always some dude, it's like, girl, why are you with him? He's not even that cute. Yeah, but, the way he makes me feel. It's all about feel, whether a dude is funny, charismatic, all of this is a part of game. The Riz. All of this is a part of that shit. You know what I mean? Tell girl, you look good, girl. And she just, she just giggling and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But see, a dude that goes out here and he overplays his, I can provide stability. I have such and such a job. But he's got nothing else about his personality that shines through. A lot of women are going to overlook that. I've never downplayed the aspect of game. I'm saying you got to come with both. You got to have, again, this is the whole Tupac with a degree analogy that we used to talk about before. You got to have some edge, some savagery. And see, women are full of shit. You can't listen to them because if you listen to a woman, she'll tell you that again, because she doesn't want to come off as a hoe or a thought, she reinforces all that classic patriarchal stuff of, I want a man that's a man of God, and I want a man that he provides stability and this, that, and the third. But that's not what she gets hot and bothered by. That's not what makes her wet. You see? So this is where a lot of white guys, they really, they drop the ball because they don't understand this. They're like, oh, she would never. Literally in that voice, she would never, right? And it's like, yeah, actually, my guy, she would. Actually, my guy, she probably has. Like, this isn't her first rodeo. It's not the first time. Like, again, I saw it, man. I saw the shit. Bitches giving blowjobs in porta potties at pep rallies. What you know about that? White girls doing some shit like bitches fucking dudes behind dumpsters and shit. What you know about that? Not that I partook in none of that shit, but that shit was wild to see. Wild to see. You know what I mean? Like, I have seen chicks with boyfriends go off, suck some other dude off, and then this white girls suck some other dude off, in a room, at a party somewhere, some guy that she just was usually just way out of her league, that she'll just drop everything for and do everything. And you got the guy that's been worshiping her, fucking, crawling behind her, that motherfucker that holds her books for her, and he's just going crazy. You got to damn near give the dude a tranquilizer and hold him down. He's like, no, Jessica, don't do it, Jessica, no. Like he's dying inside because Jessica is literally over there getting her back blown out by the captain of the football team. This goes down. Motherfucker, I seen it. I've been there. Nobody can tell me. Nobody can tell me. These white, and they sound like Trump supporting conservatives in this fucking comment sections on all this Madison Brooks shit. They can talk all the shit they want. I witnessed this shit with my own fucking eyes. It ain't no different than when I was in school. But because Madison Brooks looks the way that she does, no, she is an angelic, pure flower. What are you talking about? She would never. These dirty blacks, she would never. And see, the thing is the other thing, and I feel bad for the family. You know what I mean? Because and the other thing is even people she got hit by a fucking car. Unfortunately, and when you look at that clip, she said, "Let me out of the car," and the dude immediately got up and to let her out of the car after she was apologizing to the white dude. Okay, you know what I mean? He immediately complied. I can see if the video showed, they were like, "Nah, bitch, you're gonna stay here." That's not what the video shows. She had full control of that vehicle. Let me out. The car is stopped. Let me out. Dude immediately gets up. You know what I mean? But again, the media running around got everybody thinking, you know, that she was just blackout drunk, you know, just this limp body that these blacks savagely violated and molested. Like, fuck out of here. Full control. Knew exactly where the fuck she was and what she was doing. You know what I mean? And again, even like I said in my other video, you know, the people are like, oh, you're not accountable when you had too much alcohol. Where the fuck can I go to a bar, drink some alcohol, get in my vehicle, crash the vehicle into a family of 5, killing everybody, and then when I'm in court say, well, Your Honor, you know, I can't be held accountable because I was intoxicated. No fucking where. But somehow, when it comes to white women's vaginas, all of a sudden, you know, oh, even though she's talking shit and even offending people and everything else, oh no, she has no control because she's a precious white woman, and we got to make somebody pay for her death. Because they're trying to protect not only white womanhood, but they're trying to protect the legacy of Madison Brooks. Because just like Steve McNair, unfortunately, Steve McNair may have been a loving father, a great NFL quarterback, all the stuff that you want to name, all the positives. But at the end of the day, because that was his last act, Steve McNair will always be known as the NFL football player who got caught up with his mistress, who was shot 7 times in the back while sleeping, while he was cheating on his wife and kids and family and all that other shit. Okay? And that's what it'll be. Steve McNair will always be the individual that died during a murder-suicide. That is what Steve McNair will be. And Madison Brooks will always be the white girl who was fucking around and had a sex and ended up getting hit by a car. That is what she's going to be. See, it sounds better if you're the family, it sounds better to say that no. My daughter was savagely raped by a pack of niggas. Like, that sounds better. You know what I mean? That you know, she was not a willing participant in any of this. She was a victim, I tell you, a victim, I say, right? That sounds better than my daughter was a thought pocket and she got drunk and she was fucking around and she was literally doing what like 99% of people do in college. You know what I mean? I mean the hypocrisy coming from a lot of people in the comment section, and Nobel Prize, he wrote the comment over there. Like, he was like the people that sit here and pretend like they've never been drunk and had sex, or had sex with somebody who was also drunk while they were drunk. Like he's like if this is a crime, damn near everybody should be in jail. You know what I mean? And that's the facts. I say the same thing when people try to come with the whole statutory rape thing, you know, in high schools and stuff like that, where you get a freaking, you know, people will be like, oh my God, an 18-year-old having sex with a 14-year-old. When you say it, it sounds crazy, right? It's like, oh my God, an adult having sex with a child, right? Sounds crazy. However, most seniors turn 18 senior year, and freshmen are 14 years old. They're in the same school. They're cohorts, and many states have laws that actually take that into account and acknowledge that. You know what I mean? That you don't start charging seniors with statutory rape for having sex with 14-year-olds, because they're in the same group. Now, if you're 19 and you fucking around with a freshman, see, now that's your ass, because that's 5 years and not 4 years. You see? But these things are taken into consideration. But with this whole Madison Brooks thing, it's like everybody, you know, again, the racism, the birth of a nation shit, that classic racist trope. You know what I mean? Anytime, I mean, they've been doing this shit since fucking Rosewood. You know, like, anytime a fucking black man fucking around with white women, and I know what some people are going to say, that's why you need to stop fucking with the white girls. You know what I mean? Because, and it's sad because, again, white women apparently have no agency. You see what I'm saying? You know, and this is why white women are just, they're like the biggest fucking two-faced snowflakes that are out there. Because in one breath, feminists will be running around on some Madonna shit. It's my body. We're sexually liberated. You know, you can't slut shame us. All this other shit, right? But then at the same time, then a situation like this will happen, And them same bitches will be up there talking about, oh, where was the consent? She didn't consent. Oh my God, she needs consent. They apparently they asked for consent 4 times. 4 times. And I saw a comment where a woman was like, oh, see, if they have to consent 4 times, then clearly it's not consent because she was just too drunk. No, they wanted to make fucking sure, because we live in this fucking snowflake society where women can have agency and hypo agency all at the same time, depending on which way the wind blows. You know what I'm saying? And this is why when people talk about this, so many men are not dating, 60% of men are not dating, or they're not, in relationships with women, and women are out there. I know there's other factors, but a lot of men are not even checking for relationships because of this type of situation. You can't win either way. Oh, you asked for consent too many times, so therefore you knew that she must have been drunk, and therefore you're a rapist, right? Or then you get the other way around. Oh, you didn't get consent. Or there's no way that she could have consented, right? Or there's no way, because she's a precious white woman who just so happens to be pretty, that she conceded to any of this, or that she wanted to do any of this. Even though 5 minutes ago it was sexual liberation. You can't slut shame us. We go out here, we do what we want. You know what I'm saying? All white bitches got OnlyFans all over the goddamn place. But now, all of a sudden, all white women are antebellum South, fucking Victorian women, that with the big poof dress. You know what I'm saying? Like on some Mary Poppins shit. And none of them get down. None of them get down. All white women, apparently, because of this whole Madison Brooks situation, all white women only have sex underneath the confines of marriage, because especially if she's white, Southern, evangelical, and pretty. I mean, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And to wrap this video up, I want you to see, even just to highlight the game. I found this dude's channel, and he had 2 clips on there, and I guess he was rolling with some white dude who tried to use his gift of game to freaking talk to a chick. He sounds like Elliot Rodgers. He was like, I know I'm hot, right? And these white girls are trying to tell this dude, get the fuck away from him. And his whole channel is just him, black dude, spitting game at white women, getting a number, all type of jokes. It's just smooth shit. Just running into women on the cheek. Hey, can I get your number? Da 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 da. Spitting game. But I want you to witness, in comparison, how this white dude not only tries to get these white women's number, or whichever white woman he was trying to get at, but his reaction when they reject him. I want you to pay attention to his reaction. And see, this is where a lot of these white guys don't want to admit they fail, because they lack game. This is where you get the white incels and the I want to shoot the place up white boys and all that other shit. This is where you get that shit from. You see, because what was I gonna say? Because they haven't developed these skills, because their lifestyle, their community, all of that has what's the word that I'm looking for? It hasn't cultivated this. Black men did not develop game just out of the ether. Contrary to what, I hate, it's in our DNA, you know what I'm saying? It's because of the melanin. Get the fuck out of here. No. It's because we're vibrating at higher frequencies and looking out of our third eye. No. It's because of the situation and circumstance as the underclass due to white supremacy in this country. That is where black men develop their game and these sorts of skills. It's a survival technique, and it just so happens to be beneficial when talking to women. It's like being a good salesman. White men, when you're on the top, you don't have to sell yourself. When you're on the top, white men just come in the room like they're Superman with their hands on their hip. Ha ha, dun da da da. It is I, Superman, and bitches should want me, right? They don't have to develop any sort of game. It's in other words, white men are like the white women of men. They don't have to develop game. You know what I'm saying? Like how women don't have any game. Women don't have game. Women don't. If a dude is sitting at a bar, you know what I mean, women are not going to come up and approach him. You know what I mean? You could put money on it. How many women you think are going to go and approach a guy at a bar versus a woman going up, sitting at a bar, and how many minutes will pass before a guy goes up and approaches her? Even if she's not even all that attractive. So women don't have game because women have had to, they've never had to develop game. All they got to do is be pretty enough. And white men, many of them have never had to develop game. And this is why, you know, in my opinion, with the economy and the inflation and the fact that the white oligarchs don't want to pay anybody, right? And they killed the unions and the jobs, you know, like nobody can buy a house and shit like that. Young white men don't know what to do because all they've had is they've had the stability. They've had all that. Now, essentially, due to the economy, they're literally in the same boat as black men. But guess what black men got over them? Game. And so this is why you see these sorts of situations where, you know, the white men are like they're baffled, their minds are blown. And then the other thing, and this is gonna be my last word. The other thing is the fact that white men, a lot of them only want white women. They don't want anything else. And they look at black men like, y'all motherfuckers, we see y'all go out here, y'all got black women to choose from, Hispanic women to choose from, Asian women to choose from. Y'all got all this other shit that you like. Okay? We only have this small, narrow patch of white women that we like. We don't like the Kim Kardashian white women. We don't like the white women that got curves and got a little bit of ass on them, or dare she offensively gain 5 pounds, off to the chambers with you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And so there's this narrow window of white women that white men actually like. And those are the white women, the fucking Madison Brooks white women. Those are the white women that if they see a black man fucking with her, they fucking lose it. They blow a gasket. You know, these are the Elin Nordegren's of the world, Tiger's ex-wife. Okay? Those are the white women, you know, or the white women in that looks category, not overweight, not a whole bunch of ass, not no hips. You know what I mean? Just generally, you know, generic white girl, aesthetically pleasing in the face, and that's it. And so when they see a black man out there fucking with those white women, you know, they can't handle that shit. They can't dismiss it. Kim Kardashian, dismissed. She got too much ass anyway. She looks like she fucks with blacks. You know what I mean? You know, the white girl with the hoop earrings and the shit slicked back, dismissed. She's got Jordans on, and we know what that means. Dismissed. You know what I mean? But you start going out there and you start fucking with Matilda, no, you know, they cannot handle that shit. And so that's another reason why, you know, their anger is exacerbated, you know, when they see these situations. But I'm going to end this video because I really want to, upload it and whatnot. I don't know if I got the space to put the clips in there, but I'm gonna put the clips in there. I'm gonna see if I can. But yeah. That's all I gotta say about it. So, you know, thanks to Captain Solo for that additional input, because I mean he really I mean talk about a kick-ass point. He's like, yeah, they're not used to that shit. We're used to that shit. We know a motherfucker, you know, you can talk all the stability that you want. A motherfucker come through with some swag and some game, and he's in the streets and he got some street clout and everything. Please, we already know women are going to go for that. You know what I mean? But white dudes, they don't have that in their community. Not in mass. And so, they're like, why? We just don't believe that she would even be into something like that. You know? And I mean, this is like the, a white woman that they see as a princess going for fucking, freaking, Jack Sparrow or some shit like that. That's how they look at the shit. They're like, they sound like a British, like a British redcoat or some shit. There's just no way that she would be interested in such a thing. Right? Like that's literally how they look at the shit. I'm like, you don't know the nature of women. You know what I mean? You got her up there in that castle, all stuffy. She's bored. She's taking the, whatever, literature. You know what I'm saying? She's taking all these fucking classes and shit like that. She I don't know. She fucking knows calligraphy and she's a master cartographer or some shit like that. Them bitches want excitement. They want to be out there, in the wilderness with the savages and shit like that. I mean, that whole Beauty and the Beast, or that whole woman falls in love with a noble savage, like that shit has been a part of the novels, forever. But the funny thing is like, it's there as an allegory, but in real life, nobody really wants to accept it or believe it. Nobody wants to accept it for belief. I'm trying to think of movies, where they get the white woman and then she gets captured by some dude. And then it's always like that Pocahontas type of story. You know what I mean? There's always this, the Pocahontas is a perfect example. The freaking, Aladdin is another example, with Jasmine and her falling in love with Aladdin when she was supposed to marry Jafar, right? The sorcerer and shit like that. There's always that. It's like, you're just a peasant. Yeah, all right, bitch. What the fuck ever. You know what I mean? And then she realizes how capable the dude is, in some other aspect, and then, runs away with him and elopes or some shit like that. That's always been, a theme in, freaking, what do you want to call that shit? Not journalism. What's the word that I'm looking for? Literature. But it makes the story exciting, but it actually does tap into a lot of the true nature of women that when it comes to real society, white men, they don't want to believe that. Oh, hell no. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe.
Y'all got turned up.
Thick as hell, no.